I can read beginning one, the littlest leaguer. Of all the players in the little league, Harold was the littlest. Maybe you ought to go home and come back next year, said Charlie the shortstop. Maybe you ought to go home and not come back at all, said Big Leon, who played first base because he had such a long reach. This only made Harold try harder. He tried in the infield, but ground balls did not have to take much of a hop to go over his head. He tried in the outfield, but the other outfielders had longer legs and could move under a fly ball faster. Harold tried to make up for all this as a hitter, but there seemed to be no bat light enough for him, and balls zoomed past him before he could swing. Please don't feel badly, but I'm afraid there's only one place I can put you, said Mr. Lombardo, the coach. 너에게 적당한 곳이 한 자리밖에 없대요. 어딜까요? He put Harold on the bench. Harold sat there game after game, wearing out the seats of his pants. Sometimes he took care of the team's bats. Sometimes he brought them cold drinks. I'm tired of being so little, thought Harold, and he stayed out in the rain when a game was stopped, hoping it would make him grow like the flowers. All it did was make him wet. Maybe you ought to try eating green vegetables, said Charlie when the team went home. Better still, try forgetting where we play, said Big Leon. That night Mr. Lombardo came to Harold's house. He knew his littlest leaguer needed cheering up. 코치 선생님이 용기를 주시려고 집에 오셨대요. You're letting your size bother you. There have been many great baseball players who were not tall, said the coach, and Harold's father agreed with him. The two men talked about short players who were in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and Harold listened until he had to go to sleep. So Harold kept sitting on the bench, game after game, until it was the last game of the season. The winner of this game would be the Little League champions. The score was 0-0. 이번에 이긴 팀이 챔피언십에 간대요. 하지만 아직 점수가 0-0이래요. Harold watched Charlie catching line drives and making great plays at shortstop, but in the top of the third, the score was still 0-0. He watched Big Leon using his long reach to take throws from all over the infield and get runners out at first base, but in the top of the seventh, the score was still 0-0. 여전히 점수가 0-0이네요. Oh, if I could only help them, really help them, thought Harold, as his team came in to take their final turn at bat in the last half of the ninth inning. 내가 도와줄 수만 있다면, 이렇게 해롤드가 생각했어요. Move over, said Big Leon, shoving him off the bench. Harold sat on the ground, knowing he didn't deserve to sit with the team. He just kept sitting there, thinking of all those short players in the Baseball Hall of Fame. 유명한, 키가 작지만 유명한 야구 선수들을 생각하면서 참아요. Then with 2 out, the next 3 batters got infield hits and Harold's team had the bases loaded. 아우! cried a voice. 만루 상태에서 지금 누가 다친 것 같아요. It was Big Leon getting ready to bat. He had stepped in a hole and twisted his foot. I can't walk on it. I can't even stand on it, said Big Leon as they helped him back to the bench. Harold, it's up to you now. We need a hit to win. The bases are loaded, and all our pinch hitters are sick from too many cold drinks. Will you please go to bat for us? Asked Mr. Lombardo. Harold walked to the plate. He stood as tall as possible, hoping to scare the pitcher. 드디어 해롤드에게 기회가 왔어요. But Knuckles Smith, the opposing pitcher, threw a fastball right across the plate. Strike one, shouted the umpire. Knuckles wound up and pitched it again. This time he threw his curve. Strike two, shouted the umpire. On the bench, Harold's team groaned. Some of them got ready to leave. It's all over, said Big Leon. 여러분 야구 경기 아시죠? 3아웃이 되면 게임이 찌는 거예요. 이제 2 strike인데 어떡하죠? 3 strikes면 이 게임이 지거든요. Then Harold got an idea. He crouched at the plate as small as possible. He crouched so low and became so small that Knuckles could not find the strike zone. The next pitch came towards the plate, but it was too high. Ball one, shouted the umpire. Knuckles threw again and again, but one pitch was too low and the other was too wide. The count was 3 balls and 2 strikes. The next pitch would decide everything. Come on, Harold, shouted Charlie on the bench. Keep your eye on the ball, shouted Big Leon. Make him put it where you want it, shouted the rest of the team, and Mr. Lombardo looked as if he was praying. The ball floated towards the plate. It was Knuckles Smith's slow ball, his change of pace, which always fooled batters. Harold closed his eyes and swung with all his might, and pow! He connected. 쳤어요. The ball was gone over the fence for a home run. Harold ran around the bases from first to second, from second to third. He crossed home plate and his teammates picked him up and carried him on their shoulders. Harold, you may be the littlest leaguer, but today you were the biggest leaguer of them all, said Mr. Lombardo, and even Big Leon was cheering.